What's up, everybody? Just wanted to give all my subscribers a channel update because I've not had the opportunity to make a lot of content this summer or this spring for that matter. Been having some boat issues, but I think I've got them all straightened out. The issue I was having was my boat wasn't getting fuel. My motor wasn't getting fuel, and basically what was going on, this primer bulb right here was staying collapsed, like sucked in, like you were squeezing it like that. And basically what that means is that the fuel pump was sucking air and no fuel. I replaced the fuel pump, not knowing any better. However, you know, the motor, it's a 90s model, so the motor's 30 years old, so I was like, what the heck, let's put a new fuel pump on it. But that wasn't the problem. I'm going to show you what the problem was right here. Maybe it'll help somebody save some money one of these days. The problem is right here. This fitting right here that the fuel line hooks into on top of the fuel tank. It's a 90-degree fitting, and it's called a check ball valve. And inside that fitting is a steel ball bearing, and what it does, it allows fuel to come out of the tank, but will not allow it to flow back down into the tank. Therefore, it's always keeping your motor primed. And what was happening is that steel ball bearing inside of there got corroded and gummed up, so it wasn't allowing fuel to flow in either direction. And I've got two tanks on this boat, one on each side, and I don't know, there's the other one over there, but anyways, it was doing it from both tanks. So I replaced the fuel pump, replaced all of my fuel lines. I replaced my selector valve, because you have to pick which tank you're going to run off of, and you select it with the selector valve. I replaced it because the old one had rubber in it, and I didn't know if the rubber had started to get dry rotted or what, causing something to clog up. I replaced a lot of new parts, or put a lot of new parts on here, and turns out the only thing I needed to do was take this fitting off, that 90-degree check ball valve, took it off, unhooked the hoses, and I sprayed some PB blaster in there, and I let it soak for about 2 hours. And it freed up that steel ball bearing enough to where it would let the fuel flow properly. Now, I was told that you can take a screwdriver and pop those little ball bearings out, but if you do, you have to reprime your primer bulb every time you stop and shut the engine off and go to restart, because obviously without that steel ball bearing being in that check ball valve, it's going to let all the fuel flow back down into the tank, and that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to not let that happen. So that's just a little tech tip for you, something to consider if you ever start having fuel issues. Your engine not getting fuel, keep an eye on your primer bulb and see if it's getting collapsed, sucked in like that. That means it ain't getting no fuel. If it's getting fuel, it should be open like that. And let's see, there was something else I wanted to add to that. Oh yeah, I remember now. If that's going on, if your check ball valve ever gets gummed up and that primer bulb is collapsed like that, you're running your motor and you're just doing it continuously and not stopping, they say that can suck the diaphragm out of your fuel pump, which will basically ruin your fuel pump because it's sitting there sucking air as hard as it can and it's not getting no fuel, and they say it will just destroy the seals or the diaphragm inside the fuel pump. So that's just what a mechanic told me. And you know, so supposedly those check ball valves are on top of all the fuel tanks, and supposedly there's one somewhere inside the internal part of the motor where the fuel line goes into it. Of course, the mechanic replaced that one inside the motor, but he didn't replace the one on top of the tanks. And I had my boat out several times this spring and summer, and every time I would take it out to go fishing, the boat wouldn't run. It'd get up to about 5 miles an hour, and that's all you had, and it would spit and sputter and die out. And I thought I had something major going on, but it was just a completely and totally little minute thing, such as a little steel ball bearing. Who would have thought, right? But anyway, I want to get on to the point with this video, and what I'm showing y'all today, you have to excuse me, I'm in here, it's 1,000 degrees out here in my shop, and I got the air going, but I had to shut my garage doors down as much as I could so it would get dark in here. But what I've done today is I've rigged some black lights up for my boat, and right there they are. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Let me see if I can't shut this door down the rest of the way. I got my garage door there. Try to get a little bit darker in here. Alright, I'm back, folks. Look at that light right there. So the reason why I made this video is obviously to talk about black lights, and you know, I haven't made a video in a while because I haven't been able to fish because my boat and stuff. But anyways, this is my second boat. I upgraded quite a bit from my old boat, but however, my old boat had black lights in the rub rail, and I didn't really want to do that this time to this new boat. Well, it's not a new boat, but you get what I mean. I didn't want to take the rub rail out, and I really did not want to put the black lights on the fiberglass. I didn't want to put any epoxy or any two-sided 3M tape on my fiberglass because my boat's got a really nice clear coat finish to it. So what I did, I come up with a little redneck ingenuity, if you will. I took a piece of PEX pipe, plumber's PEX pipe, and those big rows of PEX pipe, when you unroll them, they're kind of just curved. The pipe's kind of curved, as you can see, and it kind of just fits or lines right up with the bow of the boat. The front of the boat, I should say, the railing, the top rail, it just kind of, it matches that curve right along with the boat. And what you can do, I started to take a bandsaw and just go right down the middle of that pipe and cut it in half and kind of half moon it. But then I decided against that for two reasons. One, it's just got that curve to it just like the boat, and then two, when I run my wires, instead of tying into my front and taking that panel out and trying to tie into a wire up here, I just ran my wires back through the inside of this PEX pipe. Let me turn this light out for you. There we go. So my wires going to my power source, they're coming out of the light strip and they're going through the PEX pipe, just like so, and it's going to this power source right here. And you're probably wondering why I've got my battery in one of my storage compartments. The reason is for that black box right there. and my live scope for my Garmin. Sorry, not sure what happened there, but anyway, my battery is in this storage compartment for my live scope. It was just a lot easier for me to put it there, and I may do some reconfiguring right now, but I wanted everything to be right with the quality of my live scope, so it was just easier for me to put the battery in here. And it just so happens it kind of worked out for this blacklight system. Real simple, and it's actually kind of good for somebody on a budget, not wanting to spend $150 on a set of blacklights, because that's about what they are if you get the good ones. Some of them are even more than that. But you can get these blacklight strips on eBay or Amazon, and you know, a 16-foot strip, which is what I had, is like $99 or something, you know, right at $100. And what I did, I cut this down to 4 foot so I could have 4-foot sections, and you really wouldn't have to spend that much money depending on how you want to set your boat up. I mean, if you just want one on one side, you could disconnect it from your battery if you had another power source, put you another power source on the other side. And the only thing I've got holding this on here is a little bungee strap there and a little bungee strap here, and it's secure enough for fishing. I wouldn't want to run down the road with it like that, or run, I mean, it'd probably be alright running down the lake, as long as you ain't running 60 mile an hour, but it would be real easy to just bungee it to the other side if you're switching banks, you know, needing to fish from the other side of the boat. But I'm going to have at least 2 of them on my boat, one for the front and one for the back, and who knows, if I can figure out a way to get me a power source, some type of outlet for the other side, I will have it on the other side as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I started to super glue the light strip to the PEX pipe, and that was getting kind of messy, so I said heck with it, I'm just going to get me some clear zip ties, and I put 5 zip ties holding this on here, and I just made sure not to put it over top of one of the little bulbs, and you know, it doesn't seem to interfere with the light at all. Let me turn it back on here real quick, let y'all get one more look at it. Find my little alligator clamps here. There it is. But yeah, those zip ties don't interfere at all, and I think it looks really good, and I'm super stoked about it. I may need to patent something like that, call it the tube light or something. But that's all I got for you for right now, until I get ready to come out with another video. I'm wanting to do a nighttime crappie video very soon. I've actually got a video ready to come out as soon as I get done editing it, and it's just a general knowledge video on electronics. I'm going to be talking about live scope, I'm going to be talking about side imaging, down imaging, the fish reveal feature for Lowrance, and basically how to put all that together to utilize, you know, your electronics for different scenarios. But that'll probably come out next. But the main one I'm wanting to get out to you guys is a nighttime crappie video with the green lights, and basically how I pre-scout my spots that I plan to fish. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying subscribed. And if there's anybody else new to the channel, please hit that sub button, hit that like button, share it. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you. Have a good day.